Right point of the Baltimore zone. Out front, Bielek shot, scores! Tom Bielek!
Gonzaga, room to run down the right side, pulls the trigger! He shoots and scores. Play it out front, Dos Santos shot, in front, goal! Ricardinho! Gets it back left, great, plays it to the middle, Santana, he shoots and scores!
Mark Polisic on a steal. He's got Danny Kelly moving down the middle. Kelly on the right wing moves deep in the corner. He shoots and scores!
Bascom 1-1, 5 seconds to score against Chorney. He has him beaten. That's an easy 1 point. Well, again, crossfield, Francis, a one-time shot. How did that go in? Unbelievable job by Francis.
First, the demon trying to clear it out, kept in by Gonzaga. Turns on Neto, follow-up goal! Elmo Neto!
Welcome tonight to the PA State Farm Show Complex in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, as tonight we have a very special holiday treat for you as we unwrap the home portion of the Harrisburg Heat's MASL indoor soccer schedule. It's their first home game of the season, and they take on Utica FC, a fellow division opponent tonight, and they also played last night, and it was a thrilling contest in Utica. Harrisburg got off to a 3-0 start with goals from Michael Cunningham, 2 goals from Michael Cunningham and 1 from David Meller. Then Bo Jelovic scored for Utica just before the first half ended. The first half ended 3-1. Harrisburg tacked on 1 in the third from Matt Brame, and that made it 4-1. But then Utica roared back on goals from Christian Segura, Moises Gonzalez, and Logan Roberts to tie things. And then on the power play, they at 14:40 of the fourth, Moises Gonzalez put it away, and Utica took home a 4-3 win. Harrisburg, the shots went like this last night in the first. 13-12 in favor of Utica. Utica outshot Harrisburg 14-5 in the second, 12-2 in the third, and shots were even at 7 in the fourth for Utica to outshoot Harrisburg by a total of 46-26. 20 more shots on net. First star of the game was Brian Wilkin of Utica. Second star, Moises Gonzalez. And the third star was Harrisburg goalie William Bonahene. Thank you for joining us tonight for Harrisburg Heat Soccer. The officials for today's match are brought to you by Capelli. Capelli is the official uniform sponsor of the MASL game officials. Today's officials are Ryan Sigich, Mark Bailey, Terrence Mull, and Paul Airy, as we are about to kick things off right now from Harrisburg. Rochester to kick things off. We hear from the Equine Arena. And a unique start to the season. We'll talk about this a little bit more in depth later in the broadcast, but a unique start to the season tonight, as it's a home and home within the division, as Harrisburg controls on the Utica end. And the ball goes out of play, and possession will favor Utica. So it's a unique home-and-home start. Harrisburg dropped the heartbreaker last night in Utica, as we mentioned, 4-3, being outshot by 20. But it's definitely Harrisburg dominated on the scoreboard for most of the match. And shots can be a very, very deceiving statistic at times. It's headed out of the Harrisburg end, and now Harrisburg controls down low in the corner. And a scrum here in the Harrisburg end. Thanks for joining us for our opening broadcast of the season here in Harrisburg. And looking forward to a lot of great matches this year here in the Equine Arena. Kerstetter tries to get it out, no success. Utica controls on the right side. Pass back to center. A shot from above the key, and it doesn't even make it on net. So Harrisburg now gets possession, and we'll try to get things out of their end now. A shot! Ooh, a powerful left-footed shot from Francis, and it sails harmlessly over the Utica cage, and Utica will now possess the ball. Last night was, as we said, the first game of the season. Tonight, the second of two. These two teams will meet an additional 4 times this season. Utica tries to work it into the Harrisburg end. Simon controls now at midfield. Former Heat player Patrick Thompson controls on the right side at center field now. He tries to work it down to the corner. He does. Teams feeling each other out here early. Neither team with a spectacular chance. The best chance so far was off the left foot of Dom Francis that just sailed over the Utica net. Thompson down the right side now. He controls in the corner. Ball squirts out to midfield again, and Utica takes it as they enter a player off the bench. Tough finding space out there so far for these two clubs. Now some jersey grab, and with that draws a whistle. And we'll restart things as the officials have some words with the players. Matt Brame apparently had the infraction. Here's the restart. A shot just wide by number 11, Gonzalez. Gonzalez tries another one, but Brame uses his body, and the ball goes off Brame's body, out of play into the crowd. Ball over for Vitali. A shot just wide. Darren McCauley getting the start tonight with Harrisburg, and he's not had many shots yet, but he's been busy. A lot of chances that have gone wide for Utica here early in the match. 11:20 to go in the first. On the right side now. Utica bringing it up. Boudreau controls for Utica. Over to the left side. Segura. Back to Boudreau. Povik now down to the corner. Tried to work it down to Bo Jelovic. And the ball goes out of play. Ball up to Francis now, or Meller, excuse me, for Harrisburg. He got it stolen away, and back the other way comes Utica. Patrick Thompson over to Gonzalez. Gonzalez tries a shot, but it's defended with the body for Harrisburg. Vitale now controls on the right side, near midfield. Patrick Thompson for this Utica club. Something of a fan favorite here in Harrisburg. For a long time, played for a number of years here, and what a class act he has always been. A lot of times at the old farm show arenas, there's a shot from a long way, and the keeper will catch it and save it for Utica. A lot of times, Thompson, when he was a visiting member, when he came back with the Syracuse team a couple of times, would stay after and sign every single autograph and take every photo with fans after a game, because he has a big following here in Harrisburg from his playing days here. And just a class act. And every time he deals with the media, he's always been very magnanimous with the media as well. Just cannot say enough nice things about Patrick Thompson. We love to see him, but we hate to see him in the other team's uniform around here, that's for sure. But I'm sure folks in Utica really appreciate him, and I'm sure he's doing the same job for Utica that he did for Harrisburg, which is a great one. So I know, speaking to the owner of Harrisburg, Mr. Delmont, a number of times, he's always appreciated Patrick's efforts, and he's always made an effort to sign Patrick whenever possible. Sometimes things just don't always work out at the business at the end of the day, and sometimes the business can always not be worked, but I know Mr. Delmont has always wanted Patrick on the Heat roster. He appreciates all the attributes we just discussed. Steven Basso controls. Back now to Brain. Michael Cunningham with it, over to Brain. Malcolm Harris now controls, and we have some contacts as J.J. Gibson was trying to make his way into the slot area, and he was impeded, and the officials said that was good for a stop and a restart here. A shot! Very nice shot off of the right foot of Elton de Oliveira, and it forces Wilkin to make the save. Brian Wilkin, nice save by Wilkin, and that was one of those where Wilkin almost just had to react. As we have a TV timeout with 7:10 left, we'll take a break right now on the Harrisburg Heat Soccer Network.
Today's game is brought to you by Penn Harris Hotel, the official hotel of the Harrisburg Heat.
shot goal. Ian Bennett scores, number 4 in the game, and we're tied at 5.
All right, nothing else to be said other than that was a fantastic strike.
Welcome back as they try a dribbler through the middle there. Nice idea, but it did not get in the net as it squeaked by and squeaked through, and now Harrisburg plays it back out to midfield with Kerstetter. Harrisburg sends it in the Utica end on the left-hand side. Battling there for it is Malcolm Harris for Harrisburg. A shot deflected by a foot, and it goes wide and harmless. Ball is now squirted out to the center slot area and kicked out. Brian Wilkin early on here tonight, the keeper for Utica, has not been busy, but there have been some glorious chances, and he's done a really nice job against those chances. He is being opposed tonight by Darian McCulley. We'll have some background info on McCulley as this game unfolds tonight. We've had a busy start here as teams fight for space out there on the green tonight, as McCulley makes a save there, gets it out quickly, has the ball going down the left side, and it's a little too far for Jared Dillon, the Philadelphia area player. Dom Francis gets back to defend for the Heat, gets a foot in there, and foils Gonzalez's dribble effort there. Here comes Utica in the offensive end. And a push by Brame, and it looked like as if, and the official apparently saw it this way as well, Brame got a little bit of a push in there slightly before the ball got there. And now Iba Barapovic will restart it. Shot! Nice defense. Steven Basso got his body in front of that shot. Otherwise, it could have been trouble. The veteran defender Basso, who has taken a year off and is now back with the Harrisburg Heat.
We need to meet Sarah at the red tent at the end of the first period. Adam Berman and Mark Berman and Molly McLaughlin and Terry McLaughlin.
Speaking of
The first period, meet Sarah at the red tent, Harrisburg Heat tent.
Mr. Basso, he has worked his way back, and Coach Healy is pleased to have him on the back end and providing a lot of experience there. And Coach Healy is pleased with the experience on the back end. He says, quote, "We're a veteran team in the defender's position. We brought back Brad Kerstetter and Steven Basso, two mainstays to the Heat organization. Brad gives us a consistency day in and day out, a true team guy. Basso won Defender of the Year years ago. It gives us a little pep in our step, a left footer on free kicks. He can do multiple things. He can get up and down the field and read the play. Veteran defenders, that's a good thing to have," unquote. As Wilkin kicks it out again, and Utica trying to get it out of their end as the referee blows a whistle and gives Harrisburg possession. On Steven Basso coming back, Healy says, quote, "He left due in part to an injury, but mostly for a coaching opportunity in North Carolina." As a save made here. We'll call it a save by the Harrisburg Heat keeper. When he came back, we had to do our due diligence, and he had to show us he was okay, but he passed with flying colors and looked great in the preseason, unquote. Harrisburg fans not liking that. as it looked like Gibson was trying to get a scoring chance in there. Now Dom Francis has it for the whistle. So it looked like there was a handball there. That's exactly what happened, as you see our great camera work with the replay there. And it bounces off the boards and harmlessly into the arms of Wilkett as Utica possesses. And in talking about this unique home-and-home series and how to handle the goaltending situation, Coach Healy had some things to say about that. He said, we're going to use both goalies because if a goalie goes down, you have to be able to trust the backup goalie. Darren McCulley played for Millersville in college and now coaches there as he's looking at this Utica team up close in the Harrisburg end as referees stop play here. McCulley played for Millersville in college and he coaches there now. He played for Charleston outdoors in Tier 2. And Coach Healy says you can just tell he's a coach in the back as he tells guys what to do and directs guys in front of him. There's a shot that was blocked. Harrisburg using the body well here on the defense tonight. And they blocked probably what could have been some key scoring opportunities. As getting alone is Basso, a shot, but right on Wilkin. And now a whistle. Referee wants his own timeout, and Harrisburg fans not liking it. But apparently, I think Wilkin, in fairness, may need some extra time here. And although you may not be happy as a fan, one of the referee's ultimate jobs is to protect the players at all times. Player safety, of course, is paramount. So Basso took a year off, but apparently from what Coach Healy says, he is all the way back in terms of how he's looked. And I didn't get a chance to see the game last night, but certainly from what I can tell here early on, he seems to be himself. If he's lost something, I can't tell. Of course, Harrisburg sat out last year due to the global pandemic. They just didn't have anybody to play. And we'll talk about that in a few minutes as well. As Francis gets one in there, and it's redirected by Kerstetter. Goal! At the 1:57 mark of the first, Harrisburg takes the lead. So Kerstetter on a beautiful pass from Dom Francis. No disrespect to Kerstetter, but that's one of those plays where the pass was so key, and as long as Kerstetter just gets a good foot on it, which he did, Kerstetter, obviously a very talented player, and then he just was cheating up front, and darn it if he didn't get it past Wilkin to make it 1-0. The 13:03 mark of the first. And now a goal the other way. Looks like Patrick Thompson doesn't waste any time to tie it up at the 1:37 mark. Just 20 seconds later. Here's the replay. Thompson controlled it and just got it past McCulley. And it's a 1-1 tie. Just 20 seconds after the opening score of the match. That one comes at 13:22. This first quarter seems to be going by really fast here. We started at 7:05. It's now 7:33. And the first quarter, just a minute and change to go here. Basso on the defend for the Heat. In the Harrisburg attack zone, Utica trying to look for a way out of their own zone. They find it. Now a minute to play in the first. Dribbling in the Harrisburg end. Utica trying to work their offense in the Harrisburg end. Patrick Thompson has it. He already has one tonight. Shot! Nice save by McCulley. McCulley had to dive to his right. Now to dive back to his left and can't make the save. Utica scores. That is number 14, Isaac Samo. Make that Isak Samo. That goal comes with 30 seconds left, or otherwise known as the 14:30 mark of the first. 2-1 Utica. So Harrisburg had the early lead, then Utica fires back with two straight, and they lead 2-1 as the ball heads out of play with 11.7 seconds to go here in the first. So here comes J.J. Gibson, and Utica sends it right back in. Now a little chance here before the end of the period, and it scores with 2.1 to go. That makes it 3-1 Utica. Looked like Harrisburg was just trying to play for the end.
Goal number 27, Utica.
And Joey Tavernisi able to put it in.
That's the end of the first quarter. Utica 3, Harrisburg.
End of one. It is 3-1 Utica. We'll take a timeout here on the Harrisburg. You're listening to MASL Soccer on the Harrisburg Heat Soccer Network.
Today's game is brought to you by Penn Harris Hotel, the official hotel of the Harrisburg Heat.
So with just 2 seconds remaining, otherwise known as the 14:58 mark of the first period, as we look back at all of the goals. There's the first one for Harrisburg. Now we'll see the 3 from Utica. The first from Patrick Thompson. The second comes from Isak Samau. And the third from Joey Tavernisi. Joey Tavernisi, a guy who is longtime haunted Harrisburg Heat fans. He's a heck of a player. And this Utica club has a really good club. Coach Healy, interestingly, calls this Harrisburg team somewhat of a rebuilding situation. as we said, he's pleased about the veteran additions they've made on the back end in Basso and Kerstetter, providing some veteran leadership back there. He says, we have a lot of rookies. We have 13 new guys this year. That's not a recipe you want to have, but it was something we had to do because a lot of our players went elsewhere. We have to get through the beginning of the season with a lot of new players. It takes a few years to get comfortable with each other as Harrisburg scores. Michael Cunningham helping out there. Just 11 seconds into the second, Harrisburg makes it 3-2. Michael Cunningham with the marker. He is a guy that Coach Healy is really excited about. When we talked to him about additions, he said, quote, Michael Cunningham worked his butt off. He's a natural goal scorer. On free kicks and special teams, he's going to be in there and get his opportunities. When he ran with the ball, I didn't realize how fast he was with the ball. We're looking for big things out of him, too. He came from Rochester, who is not playing this season. So Michael Cunningham, a guy that Coach Healy counting on big time for this season. And we also talked about Coach Healy on the season. Let me start over again. He said, we have a lot of rookies. We have 13 new guys this year. That's not a recipe you want to have, but it was something we had to do because a lot of our players went elsewhere. We have to get through the beginning of the season with a lot of new players. It takes a few years to get comfortable with each other. We're a good team who can get into the playoffs, as our big save there from Harrisburg keeper. Darren McCauley doing his thing. As a whistle stoppage now, and Harrisburg not liking that one.
26 with the push.
I think they called Oliveira with a push there. Barapovic restarts it. Shot harmlessly goes to the right of Cunningham. Excuse me, of the keeper for Harrisburg, McCauley. Here's De Oliveira, a shot off the board. I think he was trying to pass it to somebody and nothing doing as Utica tries to bring it back the other way. Getting back to, I'll try to read this whole thing for you now. Coach Healy says, we have a lot of rookies. We have 13 new guys this year. That's not a recipe you want to have, but it was something we had to do because a lot of our players went elsewhere. We had to get through the beginning of the season with a lot of new players. It takes a few years to get comfortable with each other. We're a good team. We can get into the playoffs, but the beginning of this season is tough for a young team. That's what we are. Can we stay alive to make it happen? Because I guarantee if we do slip into the playoffs, someone is not going to want to play us because we have nothing to lose. It's not about being the best team, but being the best team at the end. We might lose games, he said, but we have to get better. And one thing to keep in mind that he reminded me of as we had our pregame conversation, in his 2 years with the team, they've only lost 3 games at home. His goal is to improve on the road. They trail at home right now, 3-2, 13:06 to go in the opening half. The first stanza ended 3-1 in favor of Utica. Harrisburg got a goal from Brad Kerstetter, then Utica 3 straight to end the first 3-1. Michael Cunningham got a marker here 11 seconds into the second and made it 3-2. Harrisburg now is going to try to tie it up. Francis, a shot scored it through to the goalie dangerously, but nice handle by Wilkin. again, Wilkin has had to face a lot of tough chances so far. He's doing a really nice job in the net. And then he appeared to get hit in the melon with one of Harrisburg's better chances. But glad to see he's okay. The trainer did come out to take a look at him, but he's apparently fine, and we're glad to see that he's all right. Down comes Utica, trying to generate a chance of their own here now. 12:15 to go in the first half. Harrisburg trailing by 1 to Utica here at home. Former Heat player Patrick Thompson controls near midfield. Now he got a pass and right onto the foot of a Harrisburg Heat player. Looked like De Oliveira. As they battle for control, Upaparovic has it. He still controls. And sends it up into the corner. Some passing in front of the net. No shot yet. Some battling going on here. Parapovic sends it down to the corner again. Ball squirts out, and Harrisburg will possess the other way. Matt Stevens filling in for John Wilsbach tonight on the broadcast. John does a fantastic job with his years and years of covering this team as a play-by-play man and owner. I've often said he has the greatest save in Harrisburg Heat history as he saved this franchise. Came in and risked a lot to keep this franchise in Harrisburg and to keep it thriving. He did an excellent job in that regard. And of course, Heat fans, his voice synonymous with this club and soccer and sports in Central PA for that matter. He'll be back with you later in the season as whistle blown there. As looked like somebody caught, looked like maybe Steven Basso got caught there. So it's a pleasure to fill in for John tonight. But he'll be back soon. Utica trying to get things set up in their Harrisburg end here. Patrick Thompson, a shot. Save. The rebound is controlled by Utica. Thompson now coming around again. A shot, no. Another shot. Wide right of the Harrisburg cage. 9:23 to go in the first half. As Utica trying to set things up again offensively. Taken away by J.J. Gibson. J.J. Gibson trying to dribble but can't as he had it stolen away, and then kicked out again by a teammate, De Oliveira, and Cunningham controls in the Harrisburg attack zone. Back to De Oliveira. Harrisburg makes some player changes. Basso Back to the keeper. To Kerstetter on the right side. Nice bounce off the boards to Basso. Meller controls. David Meller, a shot off the left foot. Sails over the Utica cage. And will send things with the possession arrow the other way in favor of Utica. And they'll see if they can get it set up offensively here. Ball sent into the corner. Working down there for Utica is number 13, Bojelovic. Shot and a save. Jelovic listed as one of the captains on this Utica City club. As a shot goes past Harrisburg keeper Darren McCulley. And that's going to make it 4-2 Utica.
Goal number 88, Utica.
Patrick Thompson, and then you can hear a few cheers here in the arena as Thompson, with his second goal of the game, makes it 4-2. And we'll take a timeout, 7:57 to go here. You're listening to Harrisburg Heat Soccer on the Harrisburg Heat Soccer Network.
Today's game is brought to you by Penn Harris Hotel, the official hotel of the Harrisburg Heat.
Pressure with 50 seconds. Bennett, shot goal. Ian Bennett scores! Number 4 in the game, and we're tied at 5.
All right, nothing else to be said other than that was a fantastic strike.
What are you gonna do? I mean,
that was a fantastic strike. William had no chance on that one.
Bennett's having himself a night.
Welcome back to the Pennsylvania State Farm Show Complex. Max Stevens in for John Wilsbach on the Harrisburg Heat broadcast tonight as we unwrap the home portion of the 2021-2022 season for Harrisburg Heat indoor soccer. Harrisburg lost last night, a heartbreaker in Utica. They had a big lead. Well, they had a 3-1 lead, or 3-0 lead, 3-1 lead, 4-1 lead, and then ended up losing on a power play goal late, 4-3. Patrick Thompson trying to pick the pocket of Cunningham here, running up the field into the right corner. Now they choose to set up the offense at midfield. Back to Thompson. Harrisburg now controls. De Oliveira into the Harrisburg attack zone. Utica looking to set things up in their offensive zone. Jelovic centers it. Try to get one, it looked like for Thompson. No, that was not Thompson, I'm sorry. That was number 19. Ronald Ingbo. Jelovic now controls on the right side. Gets it back out toward midfield. Segura controls. To Schindler. Schindler into the corner. A shot off the right foot of Logan Roberts goes wide. Ronaldinho tried a shot and bounced off a Harrisburg player and out, and things will restart in favor of the possession of Utica. Kirstetter able to get it away. Utica still controls, however, now in their own zone. They try to work it to midfield. Gonzalez. A save for McCauley. De Oliveira has it in his own zone. Gets over to McCauley. Bounced it off of the glass. And Harrisburg now has control near midfield. They work it into the corner. Trying to work their offense there. Jared Dillon could not get a scoring chance there. Just under 5 minutes now to play in the opening half, with Utica leading 4-2. Ball squirts in the middle after a battle in the corner. Barapovic now gets it back to his keeper, Wilkin. Gets it up to Thompson. Thompson in the corner for Jelovic. Now the ball bounces out to Rahman. Shot just over the Harrisburg cage. And now Harrisburg will restart things. MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything major arena soccer league. All the latest news, standings, and in-depth features. Bookmark the page now so you don't miss a note. And get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MALS Arena on Twitter. Harrisburg controls now in the Utica end. Now back to midfield. Basso surveying things. Robert Williamson. Williamson into the corner for Meller. Oh, that was so close. A dribbler that just went wide. Basso now trying to work it into Cunningham. It's stolen away. Segura has it. Segura, a shot, he scores. Just an innocent little shot there by Segura. And he pokes it past McCauley to make it 5-2 Utica at the 2:55 mark. Just a nice shot off of the turnover and just out of the reach of McCauley. And that comes at the 12:05 mark of the second. So Harrisburg now finds itself in a situation it was in, the opposite situation it was in last night. Last night, it trailed in the second half by 3. They are now trailing by 3 here tonight at home. And they will look for the magic tonight that Utica found at home last night, as 2:26 remains in this opening half. Kind of a dangerous pass there. Viva Barapovic, as he sent it into the corner for Jelovic. Jelovic dribbles, sends it back to top. Barapovic surveys, Gonzalez controls. A lot of really talented players on this Utica team. And they play very well together here. They are 1-2 on the season after last night's win. Harrisburg 0-1 playing their first game. Kind of a weird start to the schedule. We'll talk about it at halftime a little bit, the start of the schedule. What Coach Healy said about the way this league schedule has started, with other teams having played as many as 2 and 3 games before Harrisburg kicked off its first last night. 1:18 to go, opening half. Harrisburg will try to cut this lead if they can right before the half. You would certainly feel a little bit better after 2 goals from Utica, as time is stopped with 1:04 to go. And Utica will set up its offense here. And they'll see what they can do. So Utica controls, trying to, just a minute to go now, trying to get one final scoring chance before the half, and Harrisburg desperately trying to add one before the half ends. A shot and a save by Wilkin. On the right side, Utica looking for a score. Less than 30 seconds to go in the opening half. Harrisburg trails by 3. Rahman tries a centering feed, and no shot off. Nice defense by Harrisburg as Meller has it. Meller works it down the left side. A shot from Meller just wide as time expires. And at the end of one half of play, it is Utica City FC 5, your Harrisburg Heat 2. We'll be back with the halftime show on the Harrisburg Heat Soccer Network.
Right point of the Baltimore zone. Out front, Bialek shot, scores! Tom Bialek!
Gonzaga room to run down the right side, pulls the trigger. He shoots and scores. Play it out front, Dos Santos shot, in front, goal! Ricardinho gets it back left wing, plays it to the middle. Santana, he shoots and scores!
Mark Polishek on a steal. He's got Danny Kelly moving down the middle. Kelly on the right wing moves deep in the corner. He shoots and scores!
Bascom 1-1, 5 seconds to score against Chorney. He has him beaten. That's an easy 1 point. Well, again, crossfield, Francis, a one-time shot. How did that go in? Unbelievable job by Francis.
First, the team trying to clear it out, kept in by Gonzaga. Turns on Neto, follow-up goal! Elmo Neto!
Shot to go! 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 The big man! Oh, it's pretty! It's so pretty!
This is MASL Prime Time. What's up, everyone? I'm Alex Bastiavansky. Thanks so much for taking the time to tune in today. And, you know, it's tough to believe, but the Baltimore Blast and Milwaukee Wave haven't faced each other since all the way back in early 2019. before they squared off last weekend. Now, these, of course, are two of the heavyweights of the MASL, and their rivalry runs deep. Baltimore knocked off Milwaukee in the playoffs on the way to winning the league title in 2018. And the Wave, well, they returned the favor the next season before lifting the Ron Newman Cup themselves. Regardless, to say it was a clash of the Titans when they faced off last Saturday would be an understatement. So many delicious storylines in this game, including the return of reigning MASL MVP Ian Bennett in a Milwaukee uniform. And he started with a bang.
I mean, listen, it's a scoring chance when you cross midfield. So here's Bennett. He drives one into the goal from just inside the yellow. And Bennett gives Milwaukee the early lead. A
superlative strike. But on this day, Baltimore's Lucas Roque matched him step for step. He was incredible.
Ferdinand, there he is. Leaves it back. Shot goal. Lucas Roque ties the game at 1.
That knotted up the contest at 1 apiece, and the two players were far from done. 3 minutes later, Roque getting his second chance. He makes no mistake. 2-1 blast. Lucas with both tallies. Just before the end of the quarter, its teammate Jonatos Mello getting in on the fun. 3-1 Baltimore. Bennett spurs the Wave comeback, though, in the second half. First off the pass from Luan Oliveira to pull them within 1, and then again on the doorstep to tie it up here. The teams would trade goals after that, sending this one off to overtime.
Santana, good touch for Ferdinand. Over, Roque, shoots, he scores! Lucas Roque, number 4, and the Blast win in overtime.
Roque with the winner on what was an emotional day for the Blast. Their super fan, Carol Hale, passed away earlier in the week at age 94. Carol had been referred to as the fabric of the franchise, who attended every single home game. Roque talked about her after the contest.
I think today it means more than anything because it was a really tough night. We lost someone that we love, so it means a lot to our team. We wanted to win, man. It took whatever it takes. All we wanted to do is come out with the win because I know she will love it.
She definitely would have loved that game. It had everything, and most importantly, her Blast prevailing in the end, 6-5. And Baltimore was back at it the next day in Utica. Could they find the energy for another win after an overtime game and then a long bus trip? They went up 1-0, but Moises Gonzalez punishes the net with that shot to tie it up 1-1. UCFC got bombed by Florida the previous week, so they were looking to bounce back, and for a while it was looking good. Logan Roberts makes it 2-1 Blues, and then it's Moises again, top shelf, smashing that cookie jar. Utica was up by a deuce. Unfortunately for them, that's as good as it got. Max Ferdinand stealing off the restart. Ugh. That's a killer. Second half was all Baltimore. Jamie Thomas squeezing it home to make it a 3-3 game, and then it's Mello taking a page out of his book. Same spot this shot, and same result. The Blast pulling away, up 5-3. In the fourth, Nelson Santana fakes out half the Utica team, and finally rips the twine. Beauty. They would add one more to rub salt in the wound. Big weekend for Baltimore as they win both their games. UCFC, though, have got a lot to figure out. They've lost their first 2 contests of the season and got outscored 14-4 in the process. Okay, some league news. Tacoma have signed hometown boy Lamar Nagel, the former MLS star who's top 10 all-time in scoring for the Seattle Sounders. Previously played with the Stars over 2 seasons from 2018 to 2020, and the 34-year-old has put up 13 points in 20 games over that time for the Stars. And more Tacoma news. They recently named Mike Jennings as their new head coach, and he's also a hometown guy. He's been with the Stars since 2016, previously serving as part of the technical and medical staff. And just a reminder, for more news, as well as the latest statistics, great feature stories by MASL writer Michael Lewis, as well as others, MASLsoccer.com, the league's official website, is the place to head to. It's got everything you need to stay up to date with the major Arena Soccer League. Let's just take a quick look at the scoring leaders right now before break. Gibson still on top of 10 points. Roque in second now after a great week. John Sosa in third with 6 points, and it's a tie actually. Mohamed Ndiaye and Max Ferdinand also 6 points to round out the top 5 scorers.
Turned over, Escoto has a man in the middle, goes himself, what a finish! Brandon Escoto, short side, wide angle, and the go-ahead goal.
Escoto is such a clinical player, his finishing, unbelievable, year in, year out.
50 seconds, Bennett, shot goal! Ian Bennett scores! Number 4 in the game, and we're tied at 5.
All right, nothing else to be said other than that was a fantastic strike.
What are you gonna do?
That was a fantastic strike. William had no chance on that one.
Bennett's having himself a night. Santana, good touch for Ferdinand. Over, Roque, shoots, he scores! Lucas Roque, number 4, and the Blast win in overtime. Here we go. Santana starts it, the veteran, with a great touch to Ferdinand, and then he plays to Roque. Ball game.
Hey, welcome back to Primetime, everyone. One team that's looked downright frightening early this season is the Florida Tropics. But I mean, really, they're just picking up where they left off last year. Now, they did get unexpectedly knocked out in the first round of the playoffs, but in the regular season, the Tropics were just dominant, finishing tops in the standings. And with a stacked roster once again this year and a bit of extra motivation, Florida has every intention of going all the way this time around, and they're this week's Primetime Spotlight.
6 seconds left. San Diego is going to move on. They are in the Ron Newman Cup Finals. The Sockers have done it. The 5th seed in the regular season is headed to the finals.
It was a tough pill to swallow for the Florida Tropics. After finishing first in the MASL regular season standings last year, earning the number 1 seed for the playoffs in the process, Florida was sent packing in the semifinals. Disappointing, yes, but Tropics head coach Clay Roberts always felt it was going to be a tough title to win last year.
It's difficult, especially in this league, and when it's consolidated the way it was, and it was like an all-star game every game, it felt like. And to have the regular season the way it went, and then to get into a playoff and lose to San Diego, who are eventual champions, it's anyone's game when you get to the playoff.
There was no point in crying over spilt milk. The Tropics immediately set their sights on the 2021-22 campaign. There was essential work to do off the field before a ball was even kicked.
We had to re-sign some players, and we have a lot of players that were out of contract, that were in the free agency. And now that we kind of were able to get that, first big hurdle out of the way, and getting, the retention of Victor Perez, Drew Ruggles, Hugo Silva, Ricardo Carvalho, Zach Riggett, and the list goes on. It seems like we had so many that were free, and we're really pleased they chose to stay with us.
There's certainly big shoes to fill this season, as the Tropics have lost reigning league MVP Ian Bennett, who was on loan to the team from Milwaukee last year. But they've shot out to a 2-0 record so far and look as terrifying as ever.
I don't think we were given any help with the schedule, having to go up to Baltimore on their home opener, and then creep through the night up to Utica and see them for their home opener as well. But we just made it a point of emphasis from the day one of the players arriving to say, look, we have what we have in a schedule, and that's the game we get to play, and our focus is to get ready to do that.
Right off the bat, the Tropics swept MASL awards in their first weekend of play. Hugo Silva was Defensive Player of the Week, with forward Zach Reguette taking offensive honors.
Hugo Silva is up at the top for me, and he proved that on Saturday night at Baltimore, and then somehow, as beat up as he was, did it again on Sunday at Utica. So fantastic performance, just composure and big save moment were there in both matches.
Misconnected and a deflection off of Donatelli in the goal. Reguette scores again.
It's a team game, and when you've got guys like Zach Reguette that are putting themselves in the right place, whether it's the back post or inside the box for cross pass, he's a pretty versatile goal scorer. And so to have him back and have him motivated and fit the way he is a great thing. We're excited for his start.
The Tropics are led this season by their captain, MASL veteran Victor Pereiras.
Yeah, Victor Pereiras is a fantastic, player, but a fantastic human being. He's our team captain, and he's nearing his 100th game, and so we're excited to honor him. And in an upcoming game here, he's such a threat himself, and again, he's already off to a good start with a great power play goal at Baltimore, and just really setting the tone.
No doubt there's extra motivation this year to achieve their ultimate goal, finally capturing the Ron Newman Cup. And Roberts feels that with so many of his core that were free agents choosing to return to the Tropics, it'll be a true team effort.
We're really pleased they chose to stay with us and like you said, feel that little bit of passion to accomplish that goal together in the next season.
Yeah, they have looked good so far. Okay, goals against average, top goalies so far. Hugo Silva leading the way, followed by William Vanzela, Nicolau Neto, Matt Perella, and Juan Gamboa of the Dallas Sidekicks to round it out.
Welcome back to the PA State Farm Show Complex. We're going to recap the scoring of this match in the first half here in just moments. Here is the first goal of the game. It was Brad Kerstetter at the 13:02 mark. Then Patrick Thompson ties it at the 13:22 mark, 20 seconds later at 1. Then Isak Samao made it 2-1 in favor of Utica. Utica took a 3-1 lead on a goal by Joey Tavernisi, and that ended the first 3-1 in favor of Utica. Harrisburg struck back though, with Michael Cunningham depositing one to make it 3-2. Then Utica scored two more. Patrick Thompson, his second, right there, and Segura made it 5-2 in favor of Utica off of a steal and a breakaway, and slipped it past the Harrisburg keeper with his right foot. Good news for East Division fans if you're not a fan of the Florida Tropics. So that would be the Harrisburg Heat Nation and the Utica FC Nation. The Ontario Fury on the road has handed Florida its first defeat in other action tonight. So now Florida, the Tropics, will have a 2-1 record with the defeat from Ontario by a final of 6-5. Other contests tonight, the Blast and Milwaukee Wave were postponed, and later the Dallas Sidekicks are at the Stars with a 10:05 kick from Tacoma. And we are underway for second half action here in Harrisburg. Shot, nice save by Wilkin. Another shot just harmlessly wide. Kerstetter now controls for Harrisburg. Sends it to the corner for Meller, back out to midfield to Kerstetter. A shot just wide. And now the ball goes out of play. And Harrisburg will retain possession in the offensive end. Of course, Brad Kerstetter back with the Heat now. A shot just wide. Meller battles for it. And Harrisburg gives up possession here. Brad Kerstetter on the back-to-back games, he said, quote, "It's definitely a tough way to kick off the season with back-to-back games and limited sleep between, but it gives us a realistic expectation of how the season will unfold because we have lots of multi-weekend games," unquote. I should say multi-game weekends. Of course, Kerstetter is now back with the team as we get a goal from Utica. At the 13:10 mark of the third. Yubi Parapovic puts it in and gives a 4-goal lead to Utica as they lead 6-2. Anyway, getting back to Kerstetter, he played one game in the 2019 season, traveling with the team to Canada. His last full season was 2018, and of course Harrisburg did not play last season. Interesting story about how Kerstetter ended up back with the Heat. Harrisburg owner Carl Delmont hosts a show about real estate and financing real estate purchases. Of course, Mr. Delmont, the owner of Fremont Mortgage, great place to get a mortgage. Mr. Delmont offers his views of real estate and financing for real estate on his show. And Brad Kerstetter, of course, a newer realtor now in the area, offering his real estate services to the greater Harrisburg area. And Carl offered to have Kerstetter, the young realtor, on his show in an effort to help promote the young realtor. He said, of course, they talked about real estate on the show, and of course, his past play for the Harrisburg Heat did come up on the broadcast. And Nipsey, the host of the show on 105.7 The X, asked, since he switched careers, if Kerstetter would be willing to make a return to the Heat. And Kerstetter's response was, ultimately, that's up to Mr. Delmont if he wants me back. Kerstetter says upon saying that, 3 days later he got a phone call, and it was Coach Healy, who serves as the coach and general manager of the Harrisburg Heat. And Pat said, do you want to come back? And Kerstetter said, I'd love to. Kerstetter said he was excited at the opportunity, but he had to laugh how it all unfolded because he was kind of joking about it on the air, and then it happened. What a great story. And of course, fans, you know, he's Kerstetter, a huge hit with Heat Nation here. He's such a hard worker and such an experienced now player. In fact, Kerstetter said it's funny to be referred to by the coaching staff as a veteran presence on the team, and we have young guys asking him questions about the game. He said, in my mind, I'm still 25, so I have to remind myself that I'm in my 30s now, but I do feel confident in my game and knowledge of the game. And so we mentioned Mr. Kerstetter, of course, is the young realtor. As we restart things here, and Cunningham controls. We'd be remiss if we didn't give out his contact information. So you can email him at bkerstetter, that's BKERSTETTER, at homesale.com. He's with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. That's bkerstetter, KERSTETTER, at homesale, HOMSALE.com. All one word. bkerstetter at homesale.com. His office number is area code 717-533-8181. Again, if you want to get a hold of Brad Kerstetter, Realtor, his office number is 717-533-8181. And Brad, as a message to the fans, he said he appreciates each and every one of you. And if you have a real estate need, he would absolutely be happy to help you. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, if you are looking for a real estate agent, you will not find a nicer guy. As in the Harrisburg Heat controlling the offensive end now. Gonzalez gives it a boot to midfield. And the ball back as play stops. Deep into the Heat attack end, and the Heat will get possession here as we restart things with 9:31 to go in the third. Referee making sure everybody's set. And Francis restarts things to De Oliveira. Cunningham, a shot. Dribbles out with a rebound, and Utica controls. Back out to David Meller. Meller along the right side. Wheeled in, and then Wilkins kicked it back to the corner. Here's Meller, a shot! He scores! A beautiful left-footed shot from David Meller, and that cuts the Utica lead to 3. So Meller's first of the game at 9:08, or I should say with 9:08 left in the third. Cuts the lead to 3. So 5:52 will be the official time of the David Meller marker for Harrisburg. Parapovic sends it back. Tavernisi tried to kick it in from the corner. Segura looking for his second, couldn't get it to connect. Now Harrisburg will control and try to get it out. Gibson looking for a teammate, and I believe Williams wasn't expecting the pass. Shot from a rebound and a score for Utica. Looks like Boudreau, Nate Bordeaux. Sorry for my bad eyes on that mispronunciation. Nate Bordeaux, one of the captains on this Utica team, just like that, makes it 7-3 Utica. And so Utica's lead back up to 4. Eight minutes to go in this third frame. Harrisburg, as we said, trailing by 4. Ball sails over the glass, and that'll be Utica possession, and we'll have a timeout on the floor, and we'll be back shortly on the Harrisburg Heat Soccer Network.
Fino Tequila. Treat yourself to the fino things in life.
Today's game is brought to you by Penn Harris Hotel, the official hotel of the Harrisburg Heat.
So Harrisburg trailing Utica by 4 here midway through the third period. Coach Healy, I talked about him on his transition to coach. He said when he left the game, he knew he had some years left, but he's a family person first. He said he has 2 kids and wants to be able to play with those kids and run around with them. And he recognized that an injury could happen at any time, even though he was on top of his game when he left the game. And said he was fortunate to have 10 great years with the great organization of the Baltimore Blast and a lot of success. But he's always a person who's looking for a new challenge, and he's got a new challenge tonight as his team trails by 4, and he takes over a kind of, through no fault of their own, revamped Harrisburg roster. The pandemic did not do them any favors roster-wise, as a lot of their players were lost and turned over to other teams. They were all ready to play as the last man standing in the East last year, but they really had nobody else to play in the division because nobody else in their division was going to play. They were ready to play out of the practice facility, and they thought they were going to have a good team as Gonzalez is down, Moises Gonzalez down near the bench. And they thought they were going to have a team that could push to really be special, but all their other guys ended up going somewhere else during the pandemic because the Heat didn't play. And he said they went somewhere else and did awesome. They just weren't able to do it together. It's unfortunate, he said, but those were the cards that they were dealt. As it's good to see Gonzalez back on his feet. Looks like he may have gotten twisted up there a little bit. And on the roster turnover, they have 13 new guys, according to Coach, on the roster, so that makes it challenging, and he talked about that especially early here in the season. J.J. Gibson in the corner with it. Rolls it out to Brame with Kerstetter. Kerstetter sends it off the board to De Oliveira. Back to Kerstetter. And I guess it certainly makes it challenging from a team chemistry standpoint as well, with that many new faces. That's why Coach said he was pleased to have so many veteran guys on the back end, like Kerstetter, like Basso. But he also confessed that this year for the Heat, especially in the early going, as a foul is made there, and the referees will restart things here with the possession arrow favoring Utica. He said they're going to be trying a lot of teaching here early on. Oh, nice hustle as Harrisburg regains possession. Meller over to Kerstetter. I mean, Coach isn't okay with losing, but he said it's important to learn from every loss. As whoa, that was potentially a juicy rebound that did not make it to the foot of the Harrisburg player who was awaiting in the slot there. That was Alejandro Chavez. As they'll restart things here. Shot by Francis, blocked by a body. And here play will stop as a Harrisburg player falls. It's Francis. We just talked about Chavez. That's a player that Coach Healy has high expectations for. They got him from the Chicago Mustangs in M2 as a ball is sent into the corner. Cunningham tried to get a rebound and put it in, but can't. Coach Healy says Chavez is a young kid that can be a special player with time. He was one of the players that stood out to Coach Healy in preseason camp. Coach Healy said he was happy where they were heading into the last night's game. He said, of course, they're a little behind everybody, and they're okay with that because of the way the schedule was done, and some teams playing several games already as Harrisburg tries to get out of its own end. Now Utica controls in its own end. Harrisburg playing with a little bit of desperation right now, realizing the situation, trailing by 4 with 5 minutes to go. As play stops here. Coach Healy says we have to be conscious that it's a long season and we're going to have to keep improving as the season goes along, as we just alluded to a few minutes ago. But as we also said earlier, nice shot by Francis just over the cage. And possession will favor Utica as we restart things. Or will it? No, I guess they're going to say the keeper got a piece of that. So Kerstetter to restart for the Heat. My error. Francis, a nice shot off of that left foot, but it deflects off a Utica body and into the stands. But if the Harrisburg Heat team can keep improving, they could be a team, they have enough talent where they could be a team where you don't want to play them come playoff time if they're able to squeak in. Coach Healy really trying to build something here in Harrisburg. Kerstetter bounces off the boards into the slot, and it falls back, squirts out to Kerstetter, or excuse me, Francis. And now kick back in to the Utica end and bounces off a Utica player out of play. So that should be Harrisburg possession. It is. Harrisburg will restart things. Went off of Schindler to exit the playing surface. Here's De Oliveira. Shot just above the cage. And 4:38 remains in the third. It is 7-3 in favor of Utica. MASL Primetime is the home for the best highlights, interviews, and action from the MASL each week. Catch the latest episode each Friday on MASL TV with Alex Bashavunsky. MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. All the latest news, notes, standings, and an in-depth feature. Bookmark the page now so you don't miss a note. 4:38 to go. We'll take a timeout here. You're listening to Harrisburg Heat Soccer on the Harrisburg Heat Soccer Network.
Califino Tequila. Treat yourself to the finer things in life.
Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MALS Arena on the Twitter. As we roll to restart things, Utica trying to work it out of its own end. Oh, nice play by Williamson there, trying to get a scoring chance, but the ball goes out of bounds, and Utica will take the possession arrow. Harrisburg looking to start things offensively here. It's headed out by Utica. And then some bodies start falling over each other. And a quick restart, and the official now gets things to restart orderly. A delay of game there by Utica, on Utica, I should say, as Gibson controls in the corner. Brame has it for Harrisburg. De Oliveira gets it over to Chavez. Back to midfield to De Oliveira. In the corner. Bounces off the corner. Boards and out of play. Possession arrow favors Harrisburg. Dom Francis to restart it off of his left foot. Shot, oh! Blocked by a body for Utica. Otherwise, that could have been dangerous. Two players going for it. Meller holding his ankle, and a whistle as Meller is down. And the medical staff coming out to look at Meller as he went for the ball, and it looked like the legs got tied up, and it looks like his right ankle is the one that was bothered. Maybe it was his left. Tough to tell. But good to see him getting up and walking off under his own power, to the applause of the fans here in the arena. Patrick Thompson back on the field for Utica. Again, these two teams are East Division foes. Will meet 4 more times after this. I believe Harrisburg's next game is January 8th in Baltimore against the Blast. Of course, the Blast play at the University of Towson. As Utica trying to generates more offense here. Ball out to Barpovich, and a beauty of a kick to put it in the net. Is that Tavernisi, perhaps? Comes with 2:46 to go. Just can't do it much better than that. It was Joey Tavernisi. That's his second of the game. At the 12. .12:14 mark of the third. Harrisburg now trails by 5. When you have a home-and-home series like these two teams are in the midst of right now, as Tavernisi comes back down again, he is tripped up by Brame. Now Harrisburg back the other way. Chavez passes it to Gibson, and he cannot get it in the net. Gets the shot off, but Wilkins there in good position to make a save. Wilkin, I should say. De Oliveira looking to restart things for Harrisburg with 1:32 left in the third. A shot by Francis wide. Meller, a shot, blocked. Another shot, and that goes over the Utica cage with 1:22 left in the third. Well, you're in the midst of a home-and-home series. Here's a replay of the scoring chance. And you lose a heartbreaker like Harrisburg lost last night. And you don't know if they're going to come out eyes on fire or a little bit deflated. And it looked like they came out on fire, but have since had a little bit of a struggle. You can see the talent on both teams, that's for sure. The game has been very entertaining, regardless of whether you're pleased about the score or not. It's been a fast-moving, entertaining game with some very, very pretty goals by both teams. Patrick Thompson, former Heat player, scoring 2 in his return tonight. Tavernisi also with 2 tonight, as Bordeaux missed on the scoring chance there, and time expires in the third at the end of 3. It is 8-3 in favor of Utica. You're listening to MASL soccer action on the Harrisburg Heat Soccer Network.
Califino Tequila. Treat yourself to the finer things in life.
Today's game is brought to you by Penn Harris Hotel, the official hotel of the Harrisburg Heat.
Welcome back. Buckle up for the final frame between Harrisburg and Utica. Harrisburg trails Utica by 5, 8-3. And we talked with head coach and general manager Pat Healy about his transition to coaching, and he said one of the reasons he wanted to come to the Heat was because the owner, Carl Delmont. He said, Carl is a good person. I knew he'd have my back. He would trust that I had an idea, and we'd go with it. We'd make adjustments along the way. We have a great relationship, and when you can call your boss and he'll do anything in the world for you, that's an awesome thing. The trust factor was the biggest step, and that is so true. And in fact, I talked about John Wilsbach, the person I'm filling in for tonight on play-by-play, having perhaps the greatest save in Harrisburg Heat history with keeping this franchise around and viable here in Harrisburg. Not only did John do that, but he had the wherewithal. When he sold the franchise, he wasn't going to sell it to just anybody. He wanted to make sure that the person understood the Heat, the community, what the Heat means to this community, and he wanted to make sure the next owner was going to be a good steward to the franchise. And Mr. Delmont has certainly been that. Mr. Delmont cares about this team, about this league, and especially the Harrisburg Heat fan base. We're very fortunate here in Harrisburg to have such an owner. As David Miller tries to take things the other way after a scoring chance did not materialize for Utica. Harrisburg trying to get back in this thing here in the final frame. Gibson bounces it off the boards to himself and now works it in the corner for a shot and a save by Wilkin. Wilkin sends it out ahead for his teammate along the right boards. There's a fall, no call. Back the other way is Harrisburg. Chavez. Wilkin came out for a save. And now a mix-up, and the ball is there for a restart, and Utica will try to take things the other way. Schindler controls in his own end. 8-3, Harrisburg trails, 13:36 to go in the match. Harrisburg works the ball, Utica works the ball around, and David Miller now takes it for Harrisburg, sends it down into the left corner. Wilkin, ball squirts to Wilkin, and he will try to get it the other way. Stolen away by Williamson. Meller. Now down for Bordeaux. As Utica controls in the offensive end. Segorican has it now. He dribbles back toward his own end. And Utica will try to set up the offense again here, leading by 5. Utica can be careful and picky with how they set up their offense with a 5-goal lead. Gibson a shot, he scores! Nice job by J.J. Gibson. And he cuts the lead to 4. It is now 8-4 Utica. And just as I was saying, Utica will have a chance to set up and can be picky with their chances. Gibson proving me wrong. Cannot be too cute, cannot be too careful with it, or otherwise you have snipers like Gibson who will take the turnover and take advantage of said turnover. 12:14 to go in the final frame here. Harrisburg trying to make a comeback as they just cut the lead to 4. Harrisburg fans wanting a handball on that one. It was definitely close. And now a whistle. Schindler appealing his case to the official, but the officials not buying it. Here's a replay of it. Ooh, that was close. Now Francis expressing his frustrations to the officiating crew. And Schindler kicks it out. Now the Heat goalie feeds it to Kerstetter. Kerstetter. De Oliveira out of Francis. As Meller had it taken away. Now Meller gets it back from Kerstetter off the boards. Here's Cunningham with a shot. Save made by Wilkin. De Oliveira tries to get the ball back, cannot do it. Bordeaux with it back up the field. Shot. Save made. As Francis has it along the left-hand boards. Ball kicked back to Wilkin. Utica trying to work it up the field. Chavez has it now. Chavez is so quick. Really quick with the ball as well. Ball goes into the corner just past the Harrisburg cage. As some bodies collide, possession arrow will favor the Heat. 10:41 left in the final period in Harrisburg's home opener, and they trail by 4. Utica controls near midfield. Again, we mentioned Ontario victorious in Florida tonight, defeating the Tropics 6-5, handing the Tropics their first loss of the season. They moved to 2-1 on the season. Harrisburg's next game is Saturday, January 8th in Baltimore against the Blast. Then 2 on the road with the Tropics, Friday, January 14th and Sunday, January 16th. As a trip of a Harrisburg player and Parapovic not a fan of the call, and a blue card is shown, and Harrisburg's going to get a power play as Vitale will head to the penalty box. So Harrisburg has 3 straight on the road after this. Baltimore, and then 2 in Florida as the restart happens. And Wilkin makes a save off of the restart. Then they are home against the Baltimore Blast Saturday, January 22nd. So the 8th they're in Baltimore, the 14th in Florida, the 16th they're in Florida of January. And their next home match is against Baltimore January 22nd. So some key division matchups coming up for the Heat. They trail here by 4 with 9 even to go in regulation And the extra attacker is De Oliveira right now for the Heat. The Heat going with no goalie and the extra attacker. De Oliveira controls for the Heat. Tried to center it, could not control. And Francis gets it over to De Oliveira. So the Heat with a two-man advantage if you count the goalie being out. And here's a dangerous steal. And this could be painful, and it is for Harrisburg, as number 24, Swift, scores to make it 9-4 Utica and give Utica a 5-goal lead again. So the one thing that could not happen for Harrisburg there was a giveaway. And on the giveaway, Swift makes it a 5-goal lead again. Quentin Swift. So it was a 3-goal lead at the half as play stops here with 7:56 to go. A 3-goal lead at the half, and it stands now as a 5-goal lead. Meller has it for the Heat. Over to Francis. Ball out of bounds. And I think we're going to take a timeout as the Heat trail by 5 on the Harrisburg Heat Soccer Network.
Califino Tequila. Treat yourself to the finer things in life.
Today's game is brought to you by Penn Harris Hotel, the official hotel of the Harrisburg Heat.
Welcome back to the PA State Farm Show Complex for MASL Soccer on the Heat Soccer Network. The Heat trailing by 5 against Utica. The Heat lost 5 players to free agency. The Heat are also waiting for approval of 4 visa players, including returning all-league midfielder Danielle Villela. So Harrisburg down a little bit starting the season. And they're going to try to make a valiant comeback here in the second half of the final frame with 7:35 remaining and trailing by 5. If this score holds, Utica's got to be pleased. They were 1-2 coming into the match, so they'll even their record with a win tonight. And of course, they are both clubs helped by the loss of Florida, Ontario doing all other East Division foes a favor tonight, dispatching of Florida in Florida 6-5. Dallas is in Tacoma for a 10:05 start tonight. That starts later. Probably after this game will have concluded. 6:59 to go here. Ball on the right side. Cunningham has it now for the Heat. Kerstetter over to the keeper, who sends it down, and then Utica sends it back in. Kerstetter heads it to the Harrisburg keeper. Here's a whistle to stop things for a second. .6:28 remains. Wilkin getting back into his net. Harrisburg looking for another goal. Chip away at this lead. Meller controls of midfield. Here's Williamson. Sends it in for Francis. A shot saved by Wilkin. It looked like Wilkin was calling for a timeout and then threw the ball when he didn't get one. But now he's awarded the timeout. We'll take a short timeout as well on the Harrisburg Heat Soccer Network. Heat trail by 5.
Today's game is brought to you by Penn Harris Hotel, the official hotel of the Harrisburg Heat.
.553 remains in regulation. Heat trailing by 5. The Heat trailed by 3 at halftime, but it was all Utica to start the second half, as Jupa Parapovic made it 6-2. Then David Meller cut it to 3 for Harrisburg, make it 6-3. Then Nate Bordeaux made it 7-3, and Joey Tavernisi, with his second of the match, made it 8-3. J.J. Gibson made it 8-4 to open the fourth. And then Quentin Swift put them back up by 5. And that's where we stand now. Utica 9, Harrisburg 4. With 5:40 to go. As some collision between Basso and Segura, and it looks like possession will go based upon Basso. Oh, Basso is going to be showing a blue card, and he's going to sit in the box. Basso not liking it. And Basso getting his money's worth there with the official before he takes the seat. Segura back up and ready to restart play. 5:25 to go in regulation. Schindler over to Segura. Back to Schindler. Schindler looking for a shot. Decided to pass it instead to the corner. Back to Segura, over to Schindler. They're playing a little passing around here on the power play. 1:17 to go in the power play. Ball squirts out of the field of play, and a new ball, and Brain will restart things for Harrisburg. De Oliveira now, back to Kerstetter. Jelovic not liking what was going on to him there from De Oliveira. Dubarapovic moves it to his keeper, moves to a teammate, now Segura controls. Ball squirts into the shot, and McCauley makes a save for Harrisburg. Lovic gonna go over to Segura. Nice save by McCauley. That was just one of those saves where, like, the ball almost finds you. Nice save by McCauley. Nine to 4 is your score. 3:11 to go in regulation. Segura shot. Nice save by McCauley to get a piece of that and force it over the net. Nice shot, nice save. So, clock very much a factor right now with a 5-goal lead for Utica, and Utica just looks like they're trying to play keep away right now. Patrick Thompson back on for Utica. A 2-goal night in his return to Harrisburg for Patrick Thompson. Heat fans are certainly not happy with the result, but I'd say they're probably happy for Thompson tonight. Tavernese sends it in. De Oliveira with a kick back the other way. J.J. Gibson, it just gets past him. Gibson with a goal here in the fourth quarter. 2:06 to go now. Confusion now, and Harrisburg not liking this call here that's going to give the possession to Utica. Here comes Bordeaux. De Oliveira now has it. Meller squirts it out to Williamson. Williamson over to Basso. McCauley sends it down, and Wilkin reaches up and grabs it, but he looked like he got hit in the melon, and he is writhing around in pain now. David Meller being waved away from it. along with Chavez. And so Wilkin will restart it from his goalie position. Tavernese bounces it off the boards, looking for Thompson. Chavez has it in the corner now for Harrisburg. Over to Francis. And now the Heat will have possession the other way. Meller into the corner for Chavez. Chavez tries to make a move. Cannot get a strong shot off there. As Brain controls with the final minute of play underway from the PA Farm Show complex. Francis with it. 45 seconds to go. Brain trying to work the offense, looking for a shot to Williamson. Off the glass of the corner. A whistle now with 30 seconds to go. So Harrisburg will start the season 0-2. And Utica moves to 2-2 in the East Division. .12 seconds to go. Basso a shot. Well over the Utica cage. And out of the reach of Wilkin. And that will do it from Harrisburg. Your final score is 9-4 in favor of Utica. We'll be back to wrap things up on the Harrisburg Heat Soccer Network.
Califino Tequila. Treat yourself to the fino things in life.
Today's game is brought to you by Penn Harris Hotel, the official hotel of the Harrisburg Heat.
Welcome back to the post-game show on the Harrisburg Heat Soccer Network. We're going to recap the scoring here for you from this 9-4 game. Kerstetter opened the scoring, making 1-0 Harrisburg. Then it was Patrick Thompson, his first goal of the game. You see it right there. Made it 1-1. A 2-1 lead was given to Utica by Isak Samo as he shot one in the corner there. And Joey Tavernese made it 3-1 with that goal. Then Michael Cunningham cut the lead to 1 for Harrisburg on this goal. Patrick Thompson, with his second of the night, makes it 4-2 right here on a pretty little touch off of the pass from his teammate. Then Segura made it 5-2 with that shot. Yuba Parapovic made it 6-2 to start the third on that goal. Then David Meller cut it to 6-3 with this goal. Nate Bordeaux made it 7-3 right there. And Joey Tavernisi with his second of the game made it 8-3. J.J. Gibson got one back for Harrisburg. It would be Harrisburg's final goal of the night on a slick shot past Wilkin, and the nice dance to follow. And then Quentin Swift with the empty net, making it 9-4, and that was your final. So a look at the East Division before we head out. The Tropics lost tonight to Ontario 6-5 at home, so they are 2-1. Baltimore was idle as their game has been postponed, so they remain at 2-1. So they both played 3 and they're 2-1. Utica City after tonight will have played 4 matches and they have 2-2. So Utica evens their record to 2-2, and Harrisburg will fall to 0-2, and they'll be in 4th place in this young season. And later tonight in the MASL, Tacoma will host the Sidekicks. That one kicks off at 10:05 Eastern Standard Time. So once again, your final score here tonight from Harrisburg is 9-4. Utica FC over the Harrisburg Heat. In for John Wilsbach, I am Max Stevens. Thanks for joining us tonight for Harrisburg Heat Soccer on the Harrisburg Heat Soccer Network.